So Florida has passed a bill that will ban social media for users under the age of 16. And I noticed that a lot of right-wingers, a lot of a sudden saying based, admitting that the government is literally the nanny now. Like admitting that American citizens require the government to be their father. They want the government to be involved in the education of their children because the Americans seem to be incapable of raising kids. Like your parents managed to do it, their grandparents managed to do it, but the current generation, including you if you're supporting this, must be incapable. Here is the problem, right? I am 100% for the idea of no one under the age of 16 using the internet at all. Like, if you had, like, God, right? If God was real, and God waved his magical hand from the sky and made it so that no person under the age of 16 can log onto the internet, I would be in favor of that. The issue is the government is not Jesus. And the problem is that when you have a law like this, the next question comes like, how are you going to enforce it? Right? Like, how are you going to enforce it in a way that leaves me the fuck alone? And the answer is you can't, right? The answer is that in order to enforce it, they'll have to get the social media companies to start asking for verification. So in other words, they're probably going to ask for your phone number, like many of these companies already do. They're probably going to ask for your ID. They will ask for all type of shit, which is going to destroy internet anonymity. And then the same right-winger that's like, oh, based, is going to go on Twitter and is going to make a joke. As right-wingers often do, you know, and they're going to be like something, I don't know, like they're going to pick a joke from South Park, and they're going to be like, ha ha ha, look at this funny meme. And then, I will be like, ha ha ha, look how you got fired. And they'll be like, how did I get fired? How did they know? Oh, I genuinely have no clue how they knew. And this is in the best case scenario because you're going to have other nations like the UK where there was a person that sprayed on his house, Islam is questionable, and they got a visit from the cops, right? Because the United Kingdom is much more forward-thinking when it comes to thought policing. I mean, their techniques in thought policing are so advanced that even Orwell would have to study from them. So like anything that you say on the internet, right? And this is what the European Union is pushing for. This is what social media companies want. Like, they want to know everything that is about you so they can harvest your data and sell it to third parties, right? And you have right-wingers just being like, you know what? That's an excellent idea. Let's give companies more of our data, more of our information in order to keep children from being online. I swear to God, if you want to manipulate right-wingers, all you have to do is to say it's for the kids, right? The moment you said that it's for the kids or that you're banning porn, immediately all of the right-wingers are on board. I'm pretty sure that you can even accomplish taxing them to 95% of their income, right? If it's like, look, you give me 95% of the taxes, I will stop pornography on the internet. They'll be like, yeah, sure. I mean, it's for the kids. Here's the thing, right? The main problem isn't social media. If you actually want to stop the phenomenon of kids using the internet, stop giving them smartphones. Right? We already control a lot of substances that kids can't use but adults can. Right? So alcohol, for instance. Like, alcohol cannot be sold to kids. Cigarettes cannot be sold to kids. You want to solve this shit? Pass a legislation that doesn't let kids use smartphones. Problem solved. All of a sudden. The issue is, however, that I have been told by many of my subscribers from various states in the US as well as the European Union that the schools are forcing children to use tablets. Right? So, like, in order for them to do their homework, in order for them to have access to their textbooks, they need to get tablets from schools. And allegedly, like, these tablets have safety features on which do not allow the kids to have access to the internet. Outside of like some restricted thing. But guess what? Kids are smart and they have managed to break the tablets. Like, they know ways in order to circumvent the safety features, right? So like, if you're a parent that genuinely does not want their kid to have access to the internet before the age of 16, then you're going to have a lot of difficulty. Because when your kid goes to school, he gets access to these tablets. And once he does have access to the tablets, they're going to be like, okay, well, what do you do then? I mean, I advocated, based on the fact that we're in 2024, that if you're a parent, you can actually, give a kid your laptop, right? And on your laptop, because it's yours, you can actually install some spyware. I mean, there are many programs that corporations use in order to spy on their employees and to know what their employees are doing. Just get one of those. You install it on your laptop, the kid doesn't even know it's there, and you have like a phone back system, and it's on your personal smartphone, and you get to see everything that your little Billy is doing. And little Billy doesn't even know that you know, right? And that gives you a level of parental control that even my parents didn't have when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, I would go out and I would play soccer behind the block. My mom had no idea what I was doing there. She had no access, no window. I could talk with any stranger I wanted. I could talk with anyone from my friends without terms of service. And right. But now you have access to this thing. You can actually know what your kid is doing at all times. The thing is, like, if it's a tablet from your school, you can't do that, right? Because you don't have access to it the same way that you would have access to your own laptop. So yeah, I do think that schools should stop trying to push for this level of technology. I mean, there are many concerns even in the European Union that kids do not know how to write anymore because they're spending way too much time on these tablets. There are psychologists that are claiming that the attention span of kids is being dramatically lowered due to the fact that they're playing with all of these tablets when they're growing up, and it may have like a negative impact on a person's mental cognitive issues. So I am all in favor in banning smartphones from kids, and this would be something that's easily enforceable. Just like selling alcohol, right? It doesn't violate internet anonymity. It doesn't violate my my own personal privacy, right? And then, like, if the cop sees a kid with a smartphone, it could treat it the same way as if it sees a kid with a can of beer. That is the correct way forward. If genuinely you want kids under the age of 16 from not using the internet. If they want to use it, they use it at home under parental supervision, not with a smartphone on the street or with a smartphone at school. And there you go, problem solved. But the interest is not to solve the problem. The interest is to get more power to social medias, to have access to more information about what you personally as a grown adult do online. This is what the issue is about. It's not about, protecting the kids. The kids are very easy to protect. It doesn't require that much thought. By the way, like, I wouldn't be surprised if you were to have in the future phone-free spaces, like maybe a club or something that uses a jamming signal to jam a person's phone. I'm actually curious if that would be desirable, right? Like, if there was a market for that, like if you have a club or a place where people can hang out and you have like this jamming system and no one can use a phone, and you just go there and it's offline only, right? Like you just go with your friends and you just have to talk to each other. You can't use your phone. Wouldn't that be interesting? Huh? If you have a lot of money, that's a business proposal for you. Consider it. I'm not saying it's profitable. I have no idea, but I'm curious if the market would want something like that. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.